Live it, breathe it, love it. All sports, double coverage.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Double Coverage. Hope you're still living, loving, and breathing sport. I'm Don with the great man Sauce. How you going, mate?
I am very well, mate. I am very well. It's a bit happened over the weekend in sport. We'll talk about it.
No AFL first and foremost.
No AFL. No
we
AFL.
were so keen last week that we didn't realize that it was bye week.
Well, but that's all right. That means that we don't have to spend so much time on it this week. You can reread the tips.
I will.
And maybe if there's any key big ins or outs or anything that we know of. But nonetheless, there's still a little bit went on. The F1 right off the top of the bat was it. Yeah, we talked about it over the last couple of weeks that it's firing up that
Yes.
Verstappen might not have it all his own way. And
He's finished. It could be finished.
It could be done.
We can talk about his pre-race interview that he gave, Sauce.
He's not.
I don't think he's like Lewis. I don't think he's like Lewis Hamilton, where Lewis Hamilton can talk shit.
Is he doing the rope a dope? Or...
I don't reckon he's like. I reckon he's not. He's too upfront about everything. I reckon they're cooked. They look so far off it on the weekend.
In trouble.
So far off it. It's not good. He's still in pole position in the World Championship, but the reason we're saying he's out of pole position because he does not look likely in the last 5 races of causing any problems to the McLarens and even some of the Mercedes. But the problem is the fact that 2 Ferraris finished ahead of him. I know it was their home Grand Prix, but even in some of the other races, Ferrari's been up there. And it's pretty interesting. I think let's start with F1 this week, so let's start with it straight off the bat. And it was the Italian Grand Prix, Monza, and it was Lando Norris on pole. Max Verstappen started in 7th. So as you remember last week, we said if Norris wins every race from here out, all Verstappen has to do is finish 3rd 3 times. And he wins the title. But in a crazy turn of events, Oscar Piastri had more of the pace for the McLaren, and he pulled the shifty on his teammate on the first lap. Lando was a bit slow off the mark, and Piastri made him pay and got the overtake. And Piastri was pretty much winning this race. He was dominating, leading the whole way. But Ferrari took a gamble with Charles Leclerc. After he got off the medium tires, they put on hards, and he drove 40 laps on the hard tires. He did a 1 stopper where everyone else did a 2 or a 3 stopper, and he held on by 2.6 seconds to beat Piastri. Now, if there was probably another 2 laps left, he loses this race because there was no tread left on the tire whatsoever. He'd used every last bit, every last inch, millimeter, centimeter, you name it, of rubber. And he got over the line by 2.6 seconds to win in front of the Tifosi in Italy in their home race. It was unbelievable.
There was a time
they're celebrating.
The Ferrari to finally get their tactics right. It'd be at their home Grand Prix.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think it was tactics, to be honest. I reckon they fluked that. They pulled that one out of their butt. Oh, 100% they did. I reckon Charles Leclerc just went, you know what? You can get your team orders and stick it. He's like, I've grown a goatee over the break. I'm a new man. I'll do whatever the hell I want. He goes, you guys are actually incompetent fools.
Oh,
Oh, it was a great race. Like, honestly, it was a
no
great
credit.
race.
You're giving no credit to
Nah,
Ferrari.
Nah.
The amount of
Ferrari will
times that
somehow
we've seen their track record, it's not pretty. It's not pretty.
Ferrari will somehow grow a brain in tactics next year because Lewis Hamilton's driving for him, and all of a sudden they'll look like the greatest tacticians in the history of Formula One. That's what will happen next year. It's just, yeah, because it'll be cutthroat next year because they got Hamilton. It'll pretty much be make or break. You lose your job if you stuff up shit like that. At the moment, they're like, the car's no good. Leclerc. It's typical like that Grand Prix we watched where they were sipping cafe and smoking darts when a car went into the wall and caught on fire, mate. Like, that's the way that they're going about business at Ferrari.
That took so long to get out there with the forest extinguisher. That was hilarious.
Leclerc gets the win. Piastri in second. Now, people were saying if Piastri couldn't catch Leclerc, that he should just let Norris pass to get the extra 3 points on Max Verstappen. But doesn't seem to be the case. I think they're just letting him race. So Piastri second, the Aussie, which was great. Norris in third. Carlos Sainz, who had his birthday over the weekend, finishing the top 4. Lewis Hamilton in 5th. Max Verstappen in 6th. George Russell in 7th. He started second. 7th was a really good effort by George Russell. He had a collision at the start of the race, had to change his front wing to finish 7th in the way he did. 2 seconds behind Verstappen. It was a pretty good race by him. Very unfortunate, though. Perez in 8th. Albon 9th. Magnussen round out the top 10. Danny Rick in 13th. So 1 DNF was Yuki Tsunoda. But cracker. Absolute cracker. Norris gained 7 points on Verstappen. So he's 63 points behind now. He's not too far. He's still climbing. Any point is better than nothing, to be honest.
Should have had closer. Yeah, if they didn't give that overtake to Piastri and gift him his first win of his career, he would have had more points on him.
But you know the way I look at it, Sauce? If Leclerc wins and Verstappen finished second, he gained 7 points on him. So what my theory from last week is still in play because it's 25 to win, 18 for second. He got 15 for third and Verstappen 8 in 6th. So 7 points he made up anyway.
Yeah, all right.
So my theory's still in play. He just needs to hit 7-point margins every single week and then cop 11-point gain on him for 3 races or 2 races. So still possible for him to win from here. It's still alive. But if he won this race,
would have been massive.
It would have been 53 points behind. He would have gained 17 points on Verstappen if he won this race. It would have been huge. But he didn't win the race, and therefore we're talking about 7-point gap. And you know what? He took a dint out. It's better than 0 in the end of the day. So they get the win. Ferrari, amazing stuff. Leclerc, amazing. And the next race, Source, we've got a break this week. All right, it's probably a break for the international soccer break as well. That's probably why they do it. But on the 15th of September, we will obviously review this next week. Preview, sorry. But it is a street circuit, and it is Baku, Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Now, a few years ago, we know what happens at Azerbaijan.
Drama.
There's nothing in the water. It makes the drivers go a little bit, as we say in Italian, pazzo, a bit crazy. I don't know what it is. They just do dumb shit whenever they're on that course. But that's in 2 weeks' time. So well done to Ferrari.
It's exciting.
It's exciting.
It's good, Doma. It's good. How long has it been that we've had finally a bit of excitement in the title race? And what could be, a phenomenal second half of the season in F1.
The last time we had something come down to the last race was Verstappen versus Hamilton 3 years ago. And it could come to that. That's the thing that's the other thing we should probably, the other layer on top of the catching that we should speak about. Because all these catch-ups in points could come to a head in the last race of the season. We're talking about, if he wins this, he wins that, blah, 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 he wins the title. But based on the theories that we're talking about, Source, if Norris does what he has to do, then technically it might come down to the last race where he either has to finish second or first to win the title. So all the pressure comes on him. So that's the margins we're talking about. But Leclerc is 80. What is he? 86 points behind. He's not too far either.
He can't win it. He can't catch up. It's between Lando and
It is between Lando. Piastri 197. He's 106 behind. You can't win it, but it's nice and close. Well, they're fighting for the constructors' championship though. Ferrari and McLaren and Mercedes. So it's a good contest for the constructors as well as the individual. So stay tuned for that. All right, so let's move on to AFL. We're going to do a quick preview again. Our tips from last week. If you want in depth, go to last week's episode. But our tips, both of us tipped exactly the same. Port to beat the Cats, Hawthorn to beat the Dogs, Sydney to beat the Giants, and the Lions to beat the Blues. Now, the big story coming into the finals this week, outside of Christian Petrarca, who's going to re-sign at the Ds. I'll stay at the Ds, not re-sign, stay at the Ds, which is funny in my opinion. But Brisbane Lions come up against the Blues team, obviously with the bye this last week that passed. This week they get all their players back, but the surprise inclusion source is Sam Doherty is going to play against the Lions. The spiritual leader of the Carlton Football Club is back in the squad, and in all honesty, it is the last person I think Brisbane would have wanted as an inclusion into that football side. Now, I'm going to make a bold prediction, Source. If I've tipped the Lions, clearly. But if Carlton beats Brisbane, what's to say they can't win it? The belief. You talk about this belief, but it could be back. Led by Sam Doherty, who you've seen in the past, Source, they've turned it on and played for one player. They played for Doherty once upon a time. You know what I mean? They played for Doherty and they won games for Doherty. What's to say they can't do it again? Or do you reckon I've lost my marbles? I'm not saying they're going to win. I'm just saying if they win, do you think that they could then contend? It just spearheads some momentum. The Blues supporters are celebrating as if they won the flag with Doherty coming back in the side, mind you. I don't know if you've seen the way they're carrying on. They've won one game in the last 6 that they've played, and then Doherty comes in, they're carrying on like they're going to win the flag.
I don't know. I'm not reading too much into it. I feel like it's more of it's a hit and hope. Bring him back in, lift the spirits. They know that their best footy can contend it with anyone, but the issue is their best footy has been, very fit. Hasn't been there often enough, I should say.
It's far over the last between.
That's what I meant. Exactly that, Doma. So I sort of have this view that you don't just bring all those players in that was sort of a bit underdone. Yeah, I know they've had the week off, but it's a bit different. I understand everyone's going to be fresh. I just feel like Brisbane at home, it's going to be a close game. I don't think it's going to be a thumping by Brisbane that some people think it may be. But I think Brisbane will just be too strong up there at the Gabba. But it is finals footy, and should the Blues bring it, can they sustain it? They've shown it that they can do it for a little bit over the last few weeks, and then they fall away. But yeah, I'm still with the Lions. I'm still with the Lions, man.
I'm still with the Lions. I'm not changing my tip. I'm not changing my tip at all. But I'm just saying, in a hypothetical situation, they win. Who knows? Maybe that cafe talks back. If they can get a win.
Well, I did put them in my 4 teams that can win it, so at least that keeps that alive.
And a bit of late mail on my end. I heard something today from someone that Bailey Smith may have purchased the house in Geelong. That's just all I'm going to say.
Not a bad pickup if he does go down there.
Not a bad pickup at all.
Yeah, you heard it here first on double coverage. If it,
that's what I've heard. I've been wrong in the past. I did say North should trade pick 2 and Toby Pink and Curtis Taylor for Christian Petrarca. Nah, that was just me being an idiot. But in all seriousness, yeah. The other news as well, Jack Darling to North Melbourne, supposedly. Not a fan of that. Unless West Coast pays contract, then I'll gladly take him. If not, no. And then the other big rumor is Mac Andrew, 8-year, $12 million deal. Supposedly being offered to him by a Melbourne club.
I don't see that. I don't.
Probably Essendon.
I shouldn't say. Yeah, don't get me started.
No, I'm serious. You're dumb enough to actually pay that for a player. Because you kick one goal after the siren against you, you just turn around and go, "Oh, we'll give that guy 12 mil." Like,
I'd hope that it's going to be a new leaf in Essendon recruiting with Matt Rosa taking over, and some of the former people at the club moving on. Hopefully things can turn around. Have that belief. Yeah, it's tough.
Jono's happy to see you. He reckons I'm sticking a knife in you. Nah, I go for North Melbourne. Oh. But it's true. Source knows, mate. He knows they're no good, the Bombers at the moment. So hopefully they can turn a leaf. If not, then it's the same old thing. Apparently, Dora gone, Kelly gone. It's turning, says Matt. Did you see that that story that came out? It was they're at a stalemate. Not a stalemate. They're at, what's the word? With Jake Stringer, Essendon, because they offered him 1 year. I think he's not happy about copping 1 year, and Essendon's sticking firm, saying you're getting 1 year. We're not giving you any more than 1 year.
It's probably fair enough.
I don't think he's too happy. Impasse?
It's probably fair enough.
That's a good word. We'll use that. They're at an impasse. But you know what, Sauce? Based on your theory, if Jake Stringer signed 1 year deals and was on a contract year every single year, then technically he might play his best football. Based on your theory that he plays his best football during contract years.
Well, one thing I will say, even though he had a decent year, Stringer, like he had a pretty good year, played okay. He was fit. He didn't get injured. He was around. I think he played nearly most of the games. Maybe missed a couple, but stay fit. And that's what we need from him, and we need other guys to come in. We can't obviously put it all on Stringer. We need other guys to develop. But yeah, it needs to be a changing of certain key figures at the club that have held key positions for years.
You know exactly who you're talking
clogging
about.
Things up.
Say his name. Everyone knows who you're talking about.
They got to move some players on, and you got to start throwing other players in there. It's reality.
Brett says Elijah Tsatas still unsigned. You a fan of him? Anyway, we're not turning this into an Essendon.
I don't want to turn. Yeah, and I don't like doing this. And obviously, all these players are worthy of being in the AFL. They're there for a reason. But
of course
in terms
they are.
Of the level of the, to the other players that are that are at the elite level in the competition, that Essendon lacks. Essendon lacks. I can literally say Essendon has, my opinion, one superstar.
Yeah, Zach Merritt.
That's it. You need 3 superstars in your team, right? And then you need to build around that. And ideally to have 1 midfielder, maybe 2 midfielders, and maybe 1 key back, 1 key forward, ideally, or maybe you don't have you've got either the forward and you got two midfielders, but you need more. You need more quality, elite players
that's
of
fair.
that. And we lack. And are certain players developing into that? Yeah, they are, but they're going to need more time. But yeah, we got to look at it like I look at it like this, Dom. I just don't. Essendon, there's a bit of a window here for us potentially, but if nothing happens within the next 5 years, then it's going to be like, well, then we're now cycling through the next cycle of players. Well, because I mean, Caldwell and Durham and those guys that are coming into their own, they're going to be 29, 30, and then you're like, oh, how long does peak careers go on in the AFL? It's coming shorter and shorter these days. Not too many guys can have the Pendlebury like career. That's like, that sort of stuff is like, that's like LeBron having a 21-year career. It's unheard of. Like that stuff doesn't happen often. It's a minute percent that play that many games and have that longevity.
Are you telling me that Kako is coming to North? Brett, you did tell me that Harley Reid wanted to go to North Melbourne. And he ended up going to West Coast. He probably still did want to go North, but you're telling me that Kako wants to come to North. I saw Kako play a lot of his school football, to be honest. Yes, Julia went to school with him. That's right. That's how I got to see him, his school football. Not that I went to school with him, but I saw him play school football. Good player. Good player.
Is that the one that he's meant to become to the Dons? But even that, like you
bring in a guy
like
Caddy was at played with Kako.
But even when you bring in these guys,
he's a Essendon Academy player.
There you go. See, that's what I figured. I knew that's who it was. He's got the curly.
Yeah, he's got the dreads, the dready type hair.
Yeah. I know who it is. I've seen images of him. But even when you bring these guys in, like Dom, you can't expect this guy to come in and then just be like,
you need 3 years, players, man. Not everyone's Dacos and cheese.
Thank you. Exactly right. Not everyone. Like it's hard to come in and exactly be that Dacos and cheese. Like
and even happen, but look at Horn. I'll use Horn Francis as much as I hate talking about him, but his second year was better than his first year, obviously, because he didn't want to play at North. But his third year, which is this year, how good is he?
Unbelievable.
Like, that's what I mean. It takes 3 years for some of these guys to get really going. Like, you're not Harley Reid's. It's another guy I put in there. He played really well this year. It's his first year. He's only going to get better. But I'm trying to think of guys like in their third year that come out of nowhere and actually started playing a lot better. They need a lot of them need time. Correct. James, good evening, welcome. He says, "I hope I didn't miss the EPL update." This is a Liverpool.
No, you haven't, Jimmy. Don't worry.
We're about to get into it. So anyway, our tips are Port, Hawthorn, Sydney, and the Lions. That all starts on Thursday night.
Oh, tune in.
Port versus
Cats. Massive.
It's a big weekend of sport. It only gets bigger.
I'll tell you what. Look, I will say the Cats pinch that game. Watch out. They get the home second final prelim.
Could be in the grand final.
Do you reckon that if that prelim's against another interstate club, do they push to have that down at GMHBA?
Well, they get a prelim regardless if they lose, don't they?
Well, but you've got to think if
not a prelim. They got to play another game.
Yes,
at home anyway. Yeah,
get that there, but a prelim. If it's a prelim against Hawthorn, they're not going to play that at GMHBA.
It's going to be at the G. They have to
play. No way
the
AFL would do that.
They have to play it at the G. If they're playing an interstate team, they can push for it, like you're saying. If it's an interstate team, they push for it. But if it's Sydney, it's going to be hard.
At home, it will be at the G. Yeah. Oh, that's what I think. I think it's all about money, regardless. So I think it will. All the fixtures will be at the G. Happened 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Yeah. Anyway,
you're right, Maddie. That's what I thought too.
It wouldn't surprise me if the Cats pinch that game, to be honest. So wouldn't surprise me. All right, so let's move on to the EPL. This is the last week before we have the break, the bye. So there's controversy for the first game that we're going to talk about, and the last game we're going to talk about. And the first game we're going to talk about is obviously your mob because you opened up the weekend and you drew 1-1 with Brighton, and you had one of now anyone that watches this, the Declan Rice straight up. I want to say something because if you say, you might sound a bit biased, Sauce, because you're an Arsenal supporter. So I'll speak on it first, and then you can say something. Was one of the worst yellow card decisions I've ever seen. It was honestly, if they could appeal that Arsenal, like they cheated in the Olympics and took away the win from Argentina 4 hours later with VAR, mate, I would go and appeal that and review that straight away. Because the moment you watch it again, watch it back on the replay, there is no way in hell you get carded for that. Anyway, I'm going to throw it to you. So it was 1-1, Source.
1-1. We scored first, in control of the game, Doma. Brighton looked, far from it in the first half. Early in the second half. In the first half, there's an occasion where the ball gets one of those occasions where it gets a bit away from Declan Rice, comes lunging in, late tackle, yellow card, definitely a yellow. We go in 1-0 at halftime. We look the better side. It's probably, I'm looking at this going, all right, we haven't played our best, but we got the goal, which is what you want, right? You get the goal, go in 1-0 up. Obviously, second half, Brighton's going to have to start playing and open up because they need to get back in the game. That's when Arsenal obviously has the opportunity, the skill to beat them on the counter-attack and put that second goal in and put the game to bed. Declan Rice is given one of the most ridiculous second yellow cards I've ever witnessed. First and foremost, if you haven't seen it, go watch the footage. Whatever happened there after the ball moved is irrelevant because the foul happened 2 meters from where the ball was attempted to be kicked, which was not even kicked. It was Declan Rice's leg was actually kicked, right? And it was not, it's not a soft kick. I'm not sure if Declan Rice even made contact with the ball. Maybe he did make a little bit of contact.
No, he
with
did.
The ball.
He kicked it away.
He kicked it away, but the player threw the ball 2 meters in front and then tried to kick it. It shouldn't be. You got to take it back from where the foul was.
I'll try and find it on
happened.
TikTok. They've always got it, mate.
Look, I don't see how it's a second yellow. It could potentially change, what happens at the end of the season. Losing 2 points like this to Brighton at home, it's not the type of points you can afford to be dropping, especially in the situation where we had control of the game. We're up 1-0. Woeful refereeing, and what can you say? I mean, these things happen, but in saying that, it is silly a little bit by Declan Rice to put himself in that position. But at the same time, the referee's got to understand the laws of the game. And I think he's wrongfully executed a second yellow and cost Arsenal 2 points because I feel like we would have had the quality to go on and win that game regardless. But nonetheless, it's 2 points now. We're behind City and already playing catch up. That's what I said to you, Doma, which is the reality. And, that 2 points could make a big difference come the end of the season.
I completely agree. A few people, the pundits, saying they deserve that yellow for a technicality on time wasting. But I'll see if I can find it. TikTok's got everything, mate. You just go on there.
The talk of the tick. All right, Dom, I'll run through the games. If you can find it, we'll bring it up so that people can see it. We don't really care about the CC, the CR laws here. Doesn't affect us. Brentford defeats Southampton at home 3-1. Everton absolutely crumbles. I'm not sure if you've seen this, Doma.
This was terrible.
They were up 2-0, scored in the 50th, 57th minute. And they gave up 3 goals in the space of 7 minutes, Dom. Yes. You heard that right, ladies and gentlemen. 3 goals in 7 minutes, 87th minute, 92nd minute, and 94th minute. Bournemouth kicked 3 goals in 7 minutes to beat Everton, 3-2. crazy. I watched the end of that game. I was losing it. I don't even go for Bournemouth. But when you see stuff like that, you just have to go. Like, I was just shaking my head. Like, I felt like I was a bit of a Bournemouth fan. But like, I'll
It
tell
was
you
just
what,
a
Everton could
capitulation.
be in trouble. You know, if that's how they're going to capitulate in games, they might get relegated this season. They're in for a relegation battle again, for sure.
100% they are.
Uh,
I can't find that clip anywhere, so also don't stress.
Anyway, don't worry. You can find it, ladies and gentlemen. If you've obviously got the subscription to Optus Sport, if you're here in Australia, you can go find the replay. And if not, don't worry. Just go on X, go on, TikTok, and just type it in. Someone will have it there. Ipswich Town draw 1-1 with Fulham. Leicester City defeated 2-1 by Aston Villa. Nottingham Forest Wolverhampton Wanderers draw 1-1. Manchester City defeat West Ham away from home 3-1. Chelsea Crystal Palace draw 1-1. Newcastle defeats Tottenham 2-1. That one there, I think Newcastle's beaten Tottenham 4 of the last 5 times. They've got serious wood over them. It'll be interesting to see in the return fixture if Tottenham, can get the win. And then the last game in the round, obviously the mighty Manchester United Devils get defeated by Liverpool 3-0. And Arnie Ball is here, and it's here to stay.
Yeah. It was great.
Stayed up and watched it, Doma, after the F1 and punished yourself.
Marcus Rashford is still a dud.
That.
Everton have been in the top division for 73 years. They look in trouble. Casemiro had a shocker. Hoyland is injured. That's why he's not playing at the moment. But he probably will start. Where do I begin with this one? I did stay up. I went from F1 into this. All right, so the game finished. By the time I finished, it was 3 in the morning. 3 in the morning.
Was it a wise decision?
No, it wasn't. I'll explain.
You're probably having to feed your son.
No. My son, as we've established his name, his pseudonym on this name is Cristiano. Cristiano slept. He slept. Because if you live in Melbourne and you cop that atrocious wind this week, Monday morning was when it was one of the really bad mornings for the wind. So I went to bed at 3 a.m. and I was hearing shit around my house go bang, boom, this, that. I got 1 hour's sleep source. I had to get up by 7. Cristiano slept like an angel, mate. He didn't wake up once. So it was not... That's the other thing so it pissed me off. So Monday morning when I'm sitting there doing my work, yesterday, I was already pissed off because I had no sleep. I got to watch us get decimated 3-0. Decimated. I'll give credit to Josh Xerxes. I'm not going to say he's got a pass mark, but he would have got a pass mark if he knew how to direct his headers and he didn't take his shots all into the middle of the goals to the goalkeeper, to Allison, who made some big saves in that game too. Well, I'm not saying United didn't have chances. We had chances. We just weren't clinical. But in overall, we got destroyed. And Marcus Rashford is mentioned up the top here by Magda. I saw some person on a couple of videos going, what have they done to our winger? What do you mean, what have they done to him? He's the one that's dribbling and he just stops on the ball and turns around and walks backwards and passes the ball backwards, mate. He doesn't even attack the play. He's finished. I told you this. You hit his peak, you're a one-trick pony, and players figure you out. He hasn't adapted his game at all. And we'll just blame Ten Hag. And Ten Hag is shit. I didn't want him there. Apparently, the people that they wanted to manage United this season, they couldn't get. So they decided to just sign Ten Hag. Now, I would have rather gone with Ruud van Nistelrooy coming in to just coach as a caretaker till we actually found the manager, instead of sticking by someone and putting on that shit. Casemiro struggled massively. I actually felt really sorry for him. But if you listen to this podcast, you would have remembered me saying to you, Source, round 2, fixture 2 or fixture 3 of last season. What did I say to you? Casemiro looks very slow so far. Like, very slow. It looked like the game had passed him by. If you remember me saying that on this show, I said that to you. And then when I heard that potentially Al Nassr was going to give us a Brinks truck full of cash for him, I was licking my lips going, shit, yeah, you got to take that. Even if you just put a young kid in there, who cares? You just take the money because we are in a rebuilding stage. That's what Ineos Group has said. So you just take what you can. Fuck, all bad.
What about Liverpool? They were good.
They were
Outplayed
good.
yous?
They were good.
Are they gonna? Is
I'll
it a
tell you
three?
what.
Do you think it could be a 3-horse race this season? Is Liverpool going to be back
Yeah,
up
they'll be
there?
good. They'll be good. They'll be really good. Mate, with that off the bench, they had Cody Gakpo and Darwin Núñez coming off the bench. That's the type of depth you need. Off the
Yeah,
bench.
true.
They didn't start. They had Luis Diaz, who put on an absolute
Yeah,
clinic.
yeah.
Mac Allister put on a clinic. Mo Salah has, top 5 goal scorers at United since 2021, at Old Trafford, sorry. 4 of them are United players, and the 5th is Mo Salah. Most goals at Old Trafford since 2021. A Liverpool player is in there. He plays at Old Trafford once a season.
That's hilarious.
Once a season he plays there. He's in the top 5.
That's hilarious.
You know who the other guy is that played there in 2021? He played there one season. Cristiano Ronaldo's still there with 17 goals. That's like that. I don't know if you saw the last 5 years. Have you seen the last 5 years, the goal difference? They had the top 5 teams in the Premier League, the goal difference, after the seasons were done. It was like Man City was plus 93 goals, or last 3 seasons or something. Plus 93, plus 80 something for Arsenal, plus 80 for Liverpool. I think it was plus 56 for Chelsea because obviously they've been struggling. Man United was -1 in the goal difference. -1. Almost 100 goals behind Man City. -1. Source, I watched AA9 Skills. I don't know if no one knows who AA9 Skills is, he does really good reviews of teams for football. He's actually really got a football brain. Even though he's American and people might go, oh, he doesn't know football. Man, he's Portuguese American. He watches a lot of football. And he made such a good point about United. Such a good point. Which I've been saying the same thing. He goes, you've been struggling to kick goals for 3 years. And the guy that was carrying you was Ronaldo, who was 38 at the time, and he's left. And you needed goals. And you still haven't gone. Højlund's good. Xerxes good. But they should be backing up a bona fide striker to put up there. And
I don't know why these guys didn't try when the whole thing with Osimhen went down. Why didn't you try get him on loan? You just could have got him on loan.
Osimhen,
he's gone to Galatasaray now.
I know. Even Ivan Toney. I know people go, oh, why would you want him? I don't know. Maybe he kicks goals in the Premier League. A striker that kicks goals in the Premier League, I'll take him. Man, I would have taken Raheem Sterling, as crazy as that sounds. At least he's got experience and he kicks goals in the Premier League, man.
James says need more Harry Maguire minutes.
Ah, shut up. Get out of here. You've been waiting you've been waiting 24 hours, James, to get on this podcast and just flame me. I know. Because I was expecting you to come in and flame me. I was expecting you to come in the chat and flame me. The whole day I'm like, I got to do the podcast tonight. James is going to come in, make a couple smart-ass Liverpool comments. Anyway, we're shit. The last guy I'm going to mention at
any of your new
Alexander
signings
Arnold's
that have played that are worth,
Mazraoui's dominated. Delict copped 3 goals. Like, not great, but Mazraoui's been good. Xerxes been okay. He's a new signing. Ugarte is going to play the first game after the break. He's back. He's going to start. He's a CDM. So Casemiro won't get a game now. But the last guy I've got to give mad props to, man. Mad props to for Liverpool. And big shout out to our boy Vincent Cardhour. Because when we did the Soccer Card Collective, he was talking about this guy. And then the Euros came around and then the World Cup during COVID.
Dominic Szoboszlai is an absolute beast. He's a beast. Their team is stacked in terms of attack. In terms of attack, Liverpool is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Dominic Szoboszlai,
How's their game style look under Arnie?
Bro, they're playing
What you've seen?
tiki-taka, pass the ball through. They just move your defense out of the way.
But in the end, like they've won 3 games. They've looked good. But let's be honest, they played United. We're shit. Like, our last 4 results against them are 3-0, 5-0, 4-0, and something.
All at Old Trafford. These are the Old Trafford results, mate. Getting slapped at home.
Yeah, not good.
You can't be doing that shit. All right. Anyway, move on. There's no games this week because the international break, so we'll cover the games next week.
14th of September is the next fixture, so we'll cover them next week.
The ladder at the moment: City on top, Liverpool second, Brighton third, Arsenal fourth, Newcastle fifth. That's the top 5. Man City and Liverpool both on 9 points, both on 7 goal difference. So very nice. James said he's been counting down. We almost need to clear the list and get some players that play with heart instead of the wallet. I love Arnie Schlottball and Adam. I'm up and about Liverpool 1. Oh, Magda's a Liverpool supporter. Interesting. All right, let's move on, Sauce. We're going to throw to you for some UFC.
UFC, Doma, this weekend, Burns versus Brady fight night. It kicks off from 9 a.m. The main event, the main card, the preliminary card kicks off from 6 a.m. Main event, Gilbert Burns against Sean Brady, welterweight division. Then the women's flyweight co-main event, Jessica Andrade against Natalia Silva. Make sure you tune in and check it out this weekend. UFC fight night. That one will be on free. You won't have to get an illegal stream if you've got the right channels. But tune in, ladies and gentlemen. It should be a cracker. Gilbert Burns, Sean Brady. Be interesting to see. Sean Brady's obviously only got 1 loss. Gilbert Burns is 22-7, but probably one of Sean Brady's toughest opponents to date. So it's a good test for him. If he gets past Gilbert Burns, things could be looking good for Brady in the welterweight division. But we'll see what happens. We will see what happens, Doma.
Beautiful. All right, let's get into some hobby talk. First and foremost, they're being hit. These two. Boom. There it comes up. Superfractors. Now, you know what the funny thing is? Sauce. This Helix superfractor of Wemby was hit by Blaise. And the superfractor 101 auto is what Blaise wants for $1 million. Isn't it?
Yep, that is what he
wants. Yeah. So there you go. So Blaise hit one of them. He hit the here we go. The Color Blast, the Helix.
I'm not sure if you've seen
these colors look pretty familiar.
Remember when we previewed the Topps Chrome on the show, and we just some of the designs were just woeful.
Oh, so bad.
Sell that card for $1 million, buy a house. Yes, I agree, Magda. You're a smart person. Some people aren't so wise in this hobby.
You sound like Jay with that.
Yeah, you've been listening to the round table.
You've been listening to the Messiah too much.
Yeah, but don't listen to when he talks about stocks. Yeah,
just got delivered
his meteoric resources aren't doing good, Doma. You would have wanted to sell them. They're not going good now.
Adam, congrats on getting that Ship My Cards package. I saw you put something in a chat. So
12 kilos.
12
box.
kilos. And you know what? I don't know if you're going to do anything and you're going to post some photos up, but he had some Saucies Smokies in that package, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, you heard that correctly. Some Saucies Smokies. Unbelievable. So
that's how you know you're an OG. If you've got some Saucy Smokies coming in your,
you might have to bring that back. Saucy Smoky.
We'll have to.
It's pretty hard to do it with these cards these days.
It's hard. It is quite difficult, man. It is quite difficult. I think more the
What have I got
It's
next?
it's the rare bizarre finds. I mean, some of those still haven't popped, man. Like I'm sitting. Where's my? Hang on. Where is it, Dom? I've got one right here that hasn't popped. Oh fuck! Cords are getting stuck everywhere. Here it is.
Wow.
The first ever Superman card, hollow, in that box. Well, what can I say? I don't know. People paid $1 trillion for a Spider-Man, but Superman's not as popular. I don't know.
Adam says 100% bring it back. Saucy Smoky. Adam, you should have chucked some lollies and chocolate into ship my cards I ordered too.
My Saucy Smoky can always just be a nice looking card or a nice insert. I steal a couple of those off people that I follow and I see. We always love.
You just rebrand them as a Smoky.
Yeah, that's all right. That's what everyone does.
Adam said I could probably jump on with you next week and show them off on the live. And got some Zion and Glock Morant prize packs can open live too. When you open the case of NBA product. Wow, that's a freaking good question.
Yeah, show us. Yeah, I know. Thanks for reminding us, Magda. Why don't you say that?
If I can clear some of this stuff here, I don't know. I've got boxes in there.
Man, there's not cards in there either.
We have a case, ladies and gentlemen.
Color paper. That's work.
What is it, number again?
I've got to read it. I've forgotten. Oh, jeez. 2 seconds before my battery dies. Oh, get that back in. Don't want the battery to die. It is a case of Panini Basketball 2021 Mosaic. It's Tyrese Halliburton, you know. Look, it's even got the tape, which I'm going to peel off.
Hey, make sure you heat it with a heat gun. Peel it off nice and slow. Yeah, all right.
100%.
Heat it with a heat gun. Actually, just use your hairdryer. Hairdryer works, doesn't it?
Actually, you know what we should do? We said we wouldn't sell this, but for entertainment value, surely we get a CT scanner and scan the case. We've got a case. Surely we see if we've got the hit, and then if we don't have it, we just go, fuck this.
Brett was on to you.
But I just got to be careful. See, there's a bit of a fold in the tape.
It's being resealed.
Well, fuck, who knows? I'm not sure. The hobby might have got it from Juanito potentially. So we'll see what happens when we open.
No. Obviously, the people who gave us this case, we're not accusing you that it was sealed. Well, it's legit.
And I did say to them,
and we actually do have to give them a shout out when we finally make a video about it, and obviously tag them and say thank you very much for the case.
Correct.
Make it even better if we can hit something big. That would be fun.
And it'll make it even better if we actually open it. So,
that would be a start.
I love the fact that Magda remembers and he just goes, when the hell are you opening it? Come on.
Don't worry, we haven't opened it yet. We would have told you all. We had.
Oh, maybe I opened and I resealed it. And then we open and we get G.I. Joe cards. You never know.
He's done a shifty on me, Magda. He's done an absolute shifty on me, Doma.
Does BBC Exchange still exist with CT scanners? Of course it does. You wrap it in their plastic, it actually stops the CT scanners. It doesn't work.
That's what their special plastic does.
That's what it does now. Yeah, haven't you heard about this?
It blocks the CT scanners.
Can't keep a straight face anymore.
Look at Magda, James. We've got to get the case scanned somehow. They're going to break into my house and steal the case. Jeez. The second one, speaking of big cards being hit, so that was the first one. The second one, they haven't actually hit it, but the rumor is that it has been found. And then you got all these people saying, I don't think anyone's order is like, if they've got it, they should sit on it in like 3 months, reveal that they have it. And then if they send it through to one of those golden or whatever, then they'll get double the amount of money. Like, how do you know this is going to happen? If you've got it, Just get your bank from Kenny and let it go to auction and potentially make $1 million.
Doma.
Like, what are we doing?
Do you want to know? I don't know if someone correct me wrong, but I read somewhere that Giannis offered $500K for that card.
No, it's up to $1 million now.
Yeah, okay, Doma. But if I bought that and I'm a basketball fan, say I won the card,
I know exactly where you're going with this.
And Giannis wants that card for $500K. I would rather sell the card for $500K to Giannis, take $500K, less, but I get to meet Giannis.
Yes,
and I can ask Giannis to sign some cards for me, and I can ask him, hey, man, would you mind doing your original autograph on these cards? And ask him and be like, mate, I want to sell it to you, but I just want some autograph cards, you to sign some cards, and $500K. Bang, done. And sell the card. I would actually take $500,000 less to have that experience. You're still getting $500K. If you got half a brain and you got $500K, you're still going to be all right if you know what you're doing with your money, right?
But I like that plan.
That's what I would do as a fanatic fan, because when are you ever going to have an opportunity to potentially meet Giannis like that? And in a point where he's making such a transaction for a card, he'd have to give you a bit of his time. It couldn't just be like at least you'd at least be there for 4 or 5 minutes.
It'd be like the guy that sold Post Malone, the Magic the Gathering guy.
Like that. Exactly like that.
That's sick. You get to meet. It could be someone's idol, hero, who knows.
But if you've got the card and you're not taking the money and you're thinking you're holding on to it, and you're an idiot. You're an absolute buffoon. And look, unless you're a rich, person, you've got
I get it.
A few mil in the bank, and money's not an issue for you. Different story, right?
If you're the director of assets, we get it.
Yeah, if you're director of assets, we understand. But
if you've got his type of
everyday, average Joe, or you're even middle to upper class, where you're living okay, but $500,000 or $1 million straight to your bank account would probably set you up to a point where you'd be a very, very, very comfortable. Why would you not take the money? You're an actual lemon if you don't take the money. Because even if you got the $1 million, Dom, fuck, who gives a fuck? I'll just go buy a LeBron auto, a Curry auto, and a KD auto, and I'll just frame them together, and I'll just have 3 separate autos, and I'll still have one of each. And I've only spent, who cares? You can spend $50K and get some nice cards. Who gives a fuck? You just made $1 million. Spend $100K. Who gives a fuck? And get 3 nice cards of them. Like, who cares? Like, you still got $900K left.
It's funny. Magda says, I would sell the card if I could meet Kim Kardashian. I don't know what you Googled after Pamela Anderson last week, Magda, but I'll tell you. I'm a bit worried about you. Adam says, Giannis would appreciate it more than Uncle Kenny. Kenny would keep it in his panic room, go in there once a day with a tub of Vaseline and a box of Kleenexes. So... James said,
plenty of one touches.
Yeah, James said Giannis said he would double the highest offer, and then he realized it was a stupid comment and deleted it. Oh, the lemons! After giving me a lemon, you both don't turn up for off the grid.
Nah, that was me. That was me, Global. Dom said we got to do off the grid, and I said, Dom, I'll be honest with you, I'm going to fall asleep after 20 laps, and no word of a lie, I was watching it on my phone, and I fell asleep after 12 laps. So I didn't even last the 20. It would have been me sleeping on stream after 10 laps. I ended up watching the mini. That's how I caught up on it. And
that's exactly what happened. There was weather. The weather was crazy, and there was power outages. Yeah, we had no power. Couldn't do it. Oh, no. Oops.
Anyway, that was the other one, which is pretty interesting at the moment. That should hit in probably the next week or so, I'm going to say. I predicted that they'd both hit by the time we got to this podcast. I was speaking to someone in our DMs, and obviously the Superfractor hit, and then we think that this card has been hit, but who knows? I'm not even going to bother bringing that comment up.
Adam. The next one, I just wanted to retouch on the Coles builders from last week. I couldn't find.
Not this again.
No, Sauce. I couldn't find the post.
Not this again. What have you found now?
No, they weren't slabbed. He was not. I'm not going to say he, the person in question. Someone else saw these graded Coles builders and thought, "I'd try my luck. I'm going to sell them raw."
Yeah, surely they sold.
Everyone
People paying $120 for a graded one.
Everyone in the chat was dropping Fs like fail. Good luck selling that. Good luck this. Getting absolutely abused. But you paid 110 Australian dollars for a graded one, which we saw last week. Now, Saucy, what the fuck is different? Go and get a Ziploc bag out of your pantry and put your Coles builder in there. It's plastic, protected by plastic, and put that up, and maybe you sell it for $50. What's the difference?
What? Where have we? Oh my! It
I
doesn't
just
make
saw
sense.
that.
It doesn't make sense that someone's willing to pay $110 for a BGS 9 Charizard graded Coles builder, right? But yet when a guy tries to sell a raw one, no, everyone laughs at him.
What did they used to say? Charizard can't do a knee. So it's
Never
cardboard.
heard of Charizard doing an ACL.
Fuck. I'm surprised that Coles builders haven't turned up on Griff Wilson's market movers yet. Well, the other thing, like I said to you, I haven't actually gone and looked into any of these Disney groups for the cards based on the Coles. I'll do a search of that at some stage. We should actually do it live now.
That would
Disney
be funny. Get some of those
cards.
Disney Coles cards or Woolworths ones. It was the Woolworths. That's what it was.
Disney
But
cards.
We've lost
Surely
the
there's
plot.
groups.
We've lost the plot. And look, we've seen this, Doma. We've seen this, but you just need to be careful, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm telling you, the person who's grading those, they are literal coasters. You could get a pristine 10 and it's still a coaster. It is absolute rubbish that Coles Pokemon builder. Like, why are people grading it? Why? It's just pointless. Pointless.
Who knows what's going to happen in
People
this? I just
try
joined some
anything
random
in this
group.
hobby to make a buck. I'll tell you what.
I had these Hunchback of Notre Dame cards when I was a kid in this Disney group. If I type in Woolworths, surely they don't come up.
If they do.
Oh no, they're just saying I need
I need this.
Need these cards. I'll stay in this group though, because all it's going to take is one lemon. Oh damn!
If one lemon starts grading them, I'll laugh.
Man, I just joined this group, and now this the admin's going to end up tagging me in this group and saying welcome.
Oh, good on you.
Oh,
well, just make sure you turn off the batch notifications. Do you know how to do that one, Doma?
Oh fuck!
So you don't get the everyone tag.
I'm only in here to take the absolute fucking piss.
No, shut up. You want to buy some Disney cards?
I might put the first graded ones in there. I might actually put them in a Ziploc bag and say graded. I'll write on there double coverage 10.
DC 10. It can mean double coverage or it can mean dumb beep. The person who buys it.
And you know how I'll coin, you know how you have to coin with your identity? I'll put a lemon in the picture with the date. I'll put a lemon in the picture. Oh, that'll be the best. Oh my god. If someone actually bought, you know, if I graded a Coles builder Pokemon one and someone bought it, I'd actually invite them on this show to give him a lemon. As mean as that sounds, I actually will do that. And I'll give them a refund. I'll say, just keep it. Here's your money back. Don't waste your money on shit. Like, what are you doing?
People are, they've lost.
I reckon I could, Adam says, I reckon I could fart in a glass jar and sell it on Marketplace.
But you got better a chance at selling Nutrigrains that look like ET on eBay than you do those Coles builders. Surely.
What the hell are you talking about, Adam? What is this? It's almost as bad as Belle Delphine selling her used bath water on Twitch, and people were putting
You
it
don't
on
know about
themselves
this.
and ended up with an STI. No? What the hell?
I don't know. I don't know if that part of it's true, but mate, there are some sickos out there, Doma. This would be one for. Remember what was that? What are we doing here? This would be a
Oh,
perfect
mate,
topic for what are we doing here?
you ended that show with the first episode, to be honest, because you nailed it. I did not expect that shit to happen in that. Wow, that's all I'm saying. Wow, that got out of control. Second last thing from me, and then pretty much done here. There's not much happening in the hobby. I'm not doing product releases like this week. Like, what are we going to talk about? Trash.
Look, I feel like, we've got a duty of care to do some product releases when they come out, to tell you guys, like we told you when we seen the Topps Chrome, it's rubbish. It's not worth, what are they, $900 a box,
Nah, it's
$1,080 a
ridiculous.
box they're going
It's
for, Donna?
ridiculous.
Like,
It's ridiculous.
go get effed, mate. Like, Tyson Beck has a drop, I think, on Tuesday. I'm not sure. Maybe that's something that we should let people know about, Doma.
Yeah, we'll do that.
He's got the drop, which is coming out this Tuesday. Hang on, let me just make sure. I will bring it up.
While you're getting that up, let's just quickly run through this. I saw this come up in the sports cards nonsense group. Someone posted this card, dual auto, logo man 101, Kobe and Jordan on card, and it said someone turned down $8 million for this card. Question to all of you: would you turn down $8 million, or would you hold this card? Someone said it's not worth $8 million, so you should have taken it because the Jordan patch is crap. The logo man. Someone else said it's a good hold. Another person said, in all reality, it's a good hold because when Michael Jordan dies, yes, you heard me correctly. This is what someone commented. They said, the reality is when Michael Jordan dies, then this card becomes worth $15 million.
I can't believe that's the attitude of some people.
But Source, irrespective of that comment, like, think about it. Like, what's that? What's he trying to say there? That's the thing that annoys me. It's like, what are you trying to say? Like Michael Jordan can go sign a 1-on-1 logo man auto with Kobe Bryant ever again. Do you get my point? So for him to pass away, it goes up double the price. That's just stupid. Like, the way people think is just dumb. And in my opinion, I don't think it's going to be worth $15 million. And if you, the only person that's got this card and is offered $8 million for this card has got a lot of money. Because if you're not selling that for $8 million, you're a lemon.
Yeah, you're a lemon.
You could buy multiple Jordan cards. You could buy multiple Jordan Kobe dual auto cards just because it won't be a 1-on-1, but you could buy multiple of those cards for far less than $8 million. Like,
yeah, for sure.
You could have multiple and then plenty left over. Some people are sick, like the people listed all their Johnny Gaudreau cards this week. Yeah. Shout out and to his family. Condolences. I don't know if you saw that.
Hockey player.
Yeah, him and his brother both passed away. Very sad. Very, very sad. So, yeah, but that's what they do. It's the same thing when Kobe passed away. How many people jacked up their prices for Kobe cards, man, during that few months? Adam says you'd take the $8 million and some Belle Delphine bathwater and PSA 10 Coles Builders. Genuinely, that's an elite collection right there.
All I gotta say is, Magda, don't go Googling Belle Delphine.
No, well, now that you said it, what do you reckon he's going to go do? Fuck. And Adam was one of the culprits last week, egging him on. So he's going to probably give him tips and tricks on other people that he should be Googling. Who is that? There you go. I'm on Google. Look. It took him all of 4 seconds. Be right back.
Be right back. Oh my god. Leave us on Magda. Do it after the show.
What'd you say? Tyson Beck.
Yeah, I've got it here. I'll bring it up.
Oh, you got it? All right, go for it.
I got it. So I'll bring it up. This is dropping Thursday morning here, 8:30 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, September the 5th, and in the US, September the 4th at 6:30 p.m. New York time. It's got the Stephen Curry, Penny Hardaway, Johnny Manziel, Tyrese Halliburton. Here's a little preview of the cards. There you go. The Human Torch, Curry, Penny Hardaway. I want to go for a Curry, but I just know, like, even though Tyson is very well priced on his Currys, it's still quite a bit. Still around the $1,000 mark. I'm hoping the Penny's more around the 300, 350 mark. That'll probably be my, mark. And personally, I'm going for the Penny. Already got a Halliburton. Don't really care about Johnny football. Johnny Manziel, maybe. I'm sure there'll be a few Americans out there that will be keen to get him. And there's obviously the Tyrese Halliburton. But check it out, ladies and gentlemen. Tyson Beck, this is dropping, as I mentioned, when it was. So rewind it if you missed it. If not, go check out Tyson Beck's page on Instagram or his website. Just search Tyson Beck on Google. You'll find it. You'll find out all the details. And if you're not part of his email list, which obviously lets you know when all these drops are happening, or if you're not in his Discord, well, that's your fault. Get in there, right? That's how you know when all this stuff's happening. And when he gets the Collectors Club release drop, you got to get one. So you get the early access window. You get 15 minutes early access before the general public. Only limited amount of people get this access. Yes, you're still battling with other people, but you have a much higher chance to actually get one of the autos. So check it out, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, always doing stellar things, Tyson, and always happy to give him a shout out on this show. And if you haven't seen the podcast with him, make sure you check it out. That was a few weeks ago that we dropped it. So go back. It was a banger and check it out and listen in. But Doma, anything else on the agenda?
Last but not least, just a quick one. I don't know, the big announcement, Oz National teaming up with Whatnot at the show on the 13th of October. So you can check out. I think there'll be a lot more coming out there. Did you not see this?
Speak to me, bro. I didn't see it.
I know.
That
was the big announcement. That was the big announcement.
Hang on. Let's have a look.
You share?
Teaming up with Whatnot. Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So, okay. So, hang on. Here's my question. Does this mean that Whatnot is going to be available in Australia now? Because, Doma,
it'd be a question that we're going to ask. You do know that.
You know that with everything in this hobby that's come about, we've always been one of the ones to try, give it a shot. You know what I mean? Star Stock came about. Yeah, I gave it a shot. It was good for a period of time until it was mismanaged and the way they ran things. Got all my cards out of there. Had no issue in not getting my cards out. Sold some cards on there, so I made my money back, what I did put in there and so on. So no issue there. It still runs Star Stock and you can still buy and sell and things like that, but it's not as much used. It probably didn't have the growth or sustain the growth that the trajectory that it had. Then there was obviously we've seen right through all the bullshit of the what was the shares in cards or that what they were trying to do. Dom, I remember there was fractional bullshit. We talked about it on the show. We said, oh, it's interesting, but then we saw through all the bull crap, and in the end, what did they all turn out to be? Complete fucking scams. A lot of them, and a lot of them now don't exist. They're no longer to be found. So Whatnot was one of those as well. Like I've got a Whatnot account. I've never bought anything on there. Just gone on there, watch streams. I did try to apply to become a Whatnot, streamer sort of thing that you could do streams on there and do live sales and stuff. Was declined because was not in my region. So I'm not sure if it means that Whatnot is now available for people in, Australia, in this region, because previously they weren't. So I'm not sure if there's been any update on that. So it'll be interesting to find out. But it's good. It's good, yes, because Whatnot obviously, is pretty big in the hobby these days. Let's not beat around the bush. They're probably the first to market with that sort of type of product in that manner. Fanatics Live sort of trying to follow them and do the same thing. You obviously had people using Instagram Live and doing that stuff previously, but it wasn't built. Instagram Live wasn't built for that specific purpose, whereas Whatnot is. So it'll be interesting to see what the partnership is. What does it entail? Does Whatnot now become available to Australian users, New Zealand users? What is it? I'm not sure. But yeah, interesting partnership. Let's see what that provides.
Yeah. Global says he's still got $800 stuck in NBA Top Shot because he hasn't got a digital wallet. Maybe message source.
Right, is there actually, like, you've got the 8? There's the 8. It's not you have moments, because the moments aren't worth shit. If you've got actual value in your wallet, then yes, that's good. But if your actual moments are worth nothing, because I'm not sure if you've seen they were literally paying everyone like 12 cents per moment they owned, or something like ridiculous like that, or 28 cents or something stupid. So they're worth absolutely jack shit.
That's it from us.
Keep living, loving, and breathing sport. Stable coverage. I'm Dom with the great man Sauce. And, Sauce, in the like, subscribe, and big shout out to
And big shout out to Rip and Wax from the Island Boys. He's a sports car brand. You already know what time it is, man. Let's hype him up. Check him out on IG. You already know what it is and what he does. He breaks the hottest drops on the Whatnot app.
Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to leave a review on the Apple Podcasting app. Also, follow us on socials: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Talking all sports. Double curve.